So, anime reviews are back. So the first one back is Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1. A.K.A. the one before they made the goddamn rules. And good God does it show!
Yeah. Not only can you tell that they weren't following rules, you can also tell that the writers don't know how competitive card games work.
Yeah, what were we saying? Like it'd be, if the rule book was a thing, it'd be bigger than Bible size? It'd be like the big rules book from Fairly Odd Parents.
Like, if you wanted to actually, like, what this honestly reminds me, what the way they were, the way they were treating the rules, it sounded less like they were following actual rules and more like they were consulting a game master on like, oh yeah, this is something I'm gonna give you a bonus because of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's more like what it sounded like. Like, it just, like, if there was actual rules for this, that would mean, like, each monster has, like, an entire, like, 2 to 3 pages devoted to just to, like, the rules set.
If this happens, if this happens, if this happens, if this happens.
Exactly.
If this is a card on the field, if this is a card on the field. If this field is up, if this field is up.
Pretty much. So yeah, it's kind of a mess, and you're just kind of like, okay, what stupid, okay, how are they going, what rule are they going to make up this time?
And then multiply happens, and it's like, why isn't everyone using this? Also, why does no one know how to play anyway?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I will give them this, though. If the rules are that obtuse and complicated, it's honestly no wonder the top players are surprised by each other's moves.
Including the creator.
Like,
seriously, once he loses the Millennium Eye trick, he becomes a flop.
It's like, yeah, if there are that many rules, even the top players aren't going to know how the game works. I mean, just look at Smash Ultimate, where top players don't even, like, there are probably top players who don't even know how to fight some of the characters because there's just too many to learn, and they don't fight most of them because nobody plays those characters. So yeah.
So we done with the gameplay portion and can go, at least for the Duelist Kingdom part, and can go into characters?
I might like little comments about it, but that's the gist of it.
Okay. Yugi?
I like Yugi.
How small is he?
He's so tiny, though.
Everyone is, like, giant comparatively.
Yeah, Yugi he's a pretty typical protagonist. He's not, like, as a protagonist, he does his job as a protagonist. He doesn't do, like, especially well at it, but it works. He's cool. The voice acting's good.
Wait, are we talking about Spirit Yugi or Yugi?
Okay, Yugi himself, less so. Spirit Yugi, probably the second best voice actor in the show, from what I've seen so far. I think you already know who my favorite is. He may or may not be on the screen right now.
It's Toon World.
Yeah, exactly. Toon World.
Toon World's voice acting is great.
Unmatched by any other.
Okay, let's go in order of importance, I guess. Kaiba?
Kaiba's also pretty cool. I appreciate Kaiba. I think Kaiba is... What am I talking about Kaiba? I do like that he kind of...
I'm a dick, but I like my brother.
Yeah, but I also like his place in the story of, like, here's the main plot going, and then Kaiba comes in and screws with everything. So in that way, he kind of like keeps things interesting. He's a good character.
Oh yeah, should we mention the evil Kaiba thing? That stupidity?
Evil.
The evil and Kaiba soul duel? The weird clown dude where Kaiba hacked into the blue eyes and it somehow died. But then it didn't die. But it decided not to attack because it knew it was its master or whatever the hell.
That was kind of stupid.
I'm like, eh?
Stupid. Not, it's the last.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Whatever.
Yeah. Most of the plots in this series are ridiculous.
Yeah, Kaiba's cool. I like Kaiba, and I'm interested in seeing what they do with him in the future.
Yeah, he's a lot more prevalent in season 2. See, half of season 1, he's dead.
Although I will say that sometimes that like his voice acting very often goes into the so bad it's good territory. Like,
Oh yeah, should also mention. Should we go into the localization stuff?
Sure. There was also
finger guns. Literal finger guns, where they erase the gun but still have the hand holding it. It's like, what?
And we can also mention the whole if you
die in the video game, your brain gets stuck in there.
Also, there's that. That makes absolutely no sense at all. That isn't a wizard did it moment.
Yeah, I thought that was stupid, but then I realized that's just 4 kids not wanting to say that they died.
Yeah.
That's 4 kids being like, death is a bad word.
I maybe buy that if you disconnect the power from it that they could die. But that makes it like a very dangerous thing to be using in the first place, because it's like, oops, we had a power outage, I guess they die!
Yep. Oh yeah, should we also mention, if I fall from this height, I'll get seriously hurt.
Seriously hurt, he says. Seriously.
Meanwhile, in Japan, if you beat me, I jump off.
Well, you did say if you beat me, I jump off. You just said if you beat me, I'll jump off, and I could get seriously hurt. Instead of I'll jump off and I will die.
Yeah, it's like they're not really hiding it that hard, are they?
But I mean, aside from like could get seriously hurt.
Yeah.
That actually was like a moment that I appreciated, and it did lead into one of my favorite games in this season.
Okay, let's go through Yugi's friends. Joey.
Joey is
a treasure.
Joey is wonderful.
He's a meme. In a show full of memes.
He is one of the biggest memes in this entire show, which says a lot. But somehow at the same time, he is a wonderful character that is wholesome, and you can take him completely, like at the same time. You can take him seriously as a character, and he's wonderful and wholesome.
Yep.
How do they do it?
It's how you know that this is actually made by competent writers. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Season 2 is going to be such a good upgrade.
Joey's great. I love Joey. Poor Joey.
Alright.
Joey's no, okay. That's a bit much.
Oh yeah, also should we mention Dragon Time Wizard?
Dragon Time Wizard.
How the hell does that Time Wizard keep freaking working? It's a 2 in 6 chance!
I have a 1 out of 3 chance of this working? More like... It's like... They're just... Basically, like, the numbers aren't exactly right.
1 in 3 chance, more like 1 in 3 chance of it failing!
more like 1 in 300 chance. Well, like 1 in 30 chance of it failing.
Pretty much. It's like, good God, man.
8% chance of fail. 8% chance of success. Infinity.
Truly. Okay. How about the nothing character, Tristan? Why are you here?
I dislike that I can't dislike him more.
Why is he here?
He's what? He's just the color
He's the
person
muscle.
is there. Although I will give them, in a weird way, I appreciate that it's a guy who's in that position and that Taya's not the one in that position.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a kind of a weird thing to say. It'd be much better if they just didn't have a character like that. But I've seen the female member of the group in that position so many times, and I'm happy to not see it here.
Speaking of, have fun, Joel. Taya.
I like Taya a lot more than she probably deserves.
I find her alright, but not as good as you. That's for definite sure.
So, first of all,
maybe it's your Kingdom Hearts bias, like, making you like Taya, considering how much you like Kairi. You like the character that does nothing, but it's like, I'm rooting for you! And I sort of do something! Sometimes.
So, first of all, probably the third best voice actor in the show.
Yeah.
After, well, Pegasus and...
Kaiba. Or Yugi.
Well, Spirit Yugi.
Yeah, Spirit Yugi.
Normal Yugi, I'd say, is...
Even though it's the same guy.
A fair bit farther down. I think he does a lot better with Spirit Yugi, though.
Well, that's probably the point.
That might just be because he gets all the dramatic lines.
Yeah.
There's that. There's also just I do just like I do have a decent amount of appreciation for the characters who are like I'm on the sideline and I'm the helpful sidekick, especially because it's like a relevant theme. Like it's like a relevant theme of this show that like his friends are his power.
Mm-hmm.
And like so like Tristan kind of exemplifies like that's like the one thing Tristan is there to be. But Tay also does that, but she actually does other things too. Yay!
Yeah.
And there's also Joey, who's actually a character.
Yep.
More than like 10% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so at that point I was like, Taya's basically the same position as Tristan, but executed better.
Alright.
But then, as I mentioned before, there was the whole thing where Kaiba was like, the whole thing with Kaiba.
With suicidal Kaiba.
Yeah. And so, then there's the whole thing with Yugi, like, doubting himself and being like, I don't know if I can play the game anymore, and like...
Why am I a terrible person?
And like, Taya, like, stands up for him and stuff and plays the game, even though she's like, kind of out of her league.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I thought that was really cool, actually. I thought that was really cool, really well done and well executed, and like fit the themes of the show really, really well.
Yeah.
It was like legit, like it's like cheesy friends are my power stuff, but I play Kingdom Hearts and I watch My Little Pony. I live for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a second, you like Kingdom Hearts and My Little Pony, of course you like Taya.
Exactly. See? Taya is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is Taya.
That's the weird. This is the weirdest freaking crossover I've ever seen.
It would not surprise me if there's some sort of fanfiction about this.
Of course there is. Alright.
Yu-Gi-Oh! X My Little Pony on fanfiction.net.
My?
I do appreciate Mai. She's
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, this is kind of stupid. Like, her initial battle where she had the gimmick of using perfume.
How the hell does that even work?
That makes no sense at all.
Because it doesn't. Literally, I asked Nathan how the hell that would even work, and his mom heard me ask that question, and she's like, "What? Huh?"
Yeah, I'm like, okay, maybe if she was a literal like bloodhound woman.
Yeah, but it's like all those are gonna mix together, dumbass.
If she was a bloodhound woman.
Like the only way you'd be able to do that is if you were literally putting the card up to your nose and be like, that's that one.
If she was a literal bloodhound woman, I would suspend my disbelief. That's how bad it is.
But yeah,
I'm still not convinced. I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, at least they tried to explain this.
You know, something tells me that this show doesn't like psychics. Just something about it. It's gonna get even worse in season 2.
After that, Mai was actually a pretty cool character, and I actually do appreciate her presence most of the time.
Also, what she did for Joey was cute.
Yeah, her and Joey. They're fun.
They're clear tsundere. She's clear tsundere, but it's like, you know.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I haven't seen past season 2, but it's like, I can guess.
You know I like those tsundere relationships.
Of course you do.
As long as they're not, like, blatantly toxic.
Bandit Keith. He's a main character. He's America, which means he's evil. Where do we live? Where do we live?
I don't know. Maybe he's just overly patriotic and that's why he's evil.
If you're wondering, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Is clearly based in, like, Tokyo or whatever, but it's like,
obviously.
What is this? Then.
Yeah, Bandit Keith he would not work in a show that takes itself more seriously.
Yeah.
But he is a hammy villain that I can appreciate. Like, he's not, like, especially good, but, like, he works in the show.
Yeah. I also do like how freaking even Pegasus calls out his cheating. He's like, really? Oh yeah, the kid. I think I just took out all your life points.
Legendary.
Alright, should we do any of the other, like, 2-episode duelists? Great Moth? Weevil?
Weevil is just...
Great Moth! Field power bonus!
I think that battle was where it was like, oh, this is how it's going to be, isn't it? And I think he was probably the single most, I am just a hammy, stupid, goofy villain and nothing else.
Pretty much.
Like, sure, maybe Pegasus was more hammy, but also he was he was actually, like, intimidating.
A threat?
He was, like, an actually intimidating threat. Weevil is just a joke. Weevil is a literal meme, and I kind of love him for it.
Any other duelists?
What other duelists?
Mako Tsunami, Panic, Rex Raptor.
We can't forget about, what are they? Paradox?
Oh yeah, Paradox! AKA reuse animation 5 times! We
that
gotta.
Huge animation.
We need to make.
Animation.
We need to cut $50 from this episode's budget. Reuse the animation.
That is literally one of my like. That would have been like because this show is one where it's so bad it's good like 40% of the time.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts of the whole show. It's like one of my favorite parts of the whole season was them just reusing that shit over and over and
like
over.
5 times.
You only used it like twice an episode for like 3 episodes straight. It's so good.
Not counting flashbacks. Where it's like, really?
And like that whole episode, like that episode, that is another episode. That's honestly, they're another villain that's just like, this is just a meme for like 3 episodes straight. They're just memey.
Yeah.
It's like they're just so good. And their voices are so funny, and they rhyme with each other. I would rhyme, but I can't think of one right now. How dare you!
You'll learn it with time. Yeah, you can't think of a rhyme. You'll learn it with time. Yugi's grandpa.
My rhyming is not exactly in its prime.
Yugi's grandpa.
I was meh about him, and then he was perving on the cheerleaders, and I was like, ugh.
And don't you like anime old men perving? It's funny, right? Laugh.
This is one of those anime tropes that prevented me from getting into anime for this long.
And both of the animes we're watching has it.
Yup. Luckily, they keep it to a minimum in both.
Meanwhile, in the original Dragon Ball, it's like
That's
half
why
the
I
jokes.
am never watching it.
Though the second half of Dragon Ball is actually pretty good. Because it actually goes action-y and stops being around Roshi. Actually, Roshi's like dead for half of it, so that's probably why. Mokuba?
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's a motivation plot device for Kaiba.
How the hell did I forget this? Bakura. Evil ring dude.
I mean, I feel like most of what happened regarding him is just set up for later. He doesn't feel all that relevant so far. He's just kind of there. I can't say I'm like, he's like probably a step above Tristan at this point. Yeah. Because he's funnier. His accent is amusing to listen to. Because it's not all that well done.
Even though it's only regular Bakura that has that, and Spirit Bakura's doesn't.
Spirit Bakura is like hammy evil, and normal Bakura is just, I have a British accent, but it's not very well done.
Haha! I'm totally not evil, guys!
And I have very forced-in stereotypical British words!
Don't worry, I'm not evil at all, mates!
Like, he has like these stereotypical British things that he says, but he only says them like once every 5 episodes, so they're always really jarring.
Yeah! Well... should we go over the man himself?
The man of the hour, Maximilian Pegasus.
My God!
Legitimately,
James from Pokemon might be his most famous role, but good God! What is this?
I'll be completely honest. Pegasus is probably like, he is like surprisingly far up my list of favorite villains of fiction.
Yeah!
Like, he's not like, I'm not saying like he's like top 10 or anything, but he's pretty, like,
Yeah.
wow. Yes, like, he's actually pretty intimidating. Like, he's legitimately pretty intimidating.
He's freaking hilarious yet intimidating at the same time.
Yeah, and like, absolute props to the voice actor. I don't remember his name, but absolute incredible props to him.
Oh, Kaiba boy!
I don't think he had a single line where I was like, that line was not like well above average. like I could like point to each individual line he said and be like, that was such a good line. That was such a good line.
No!
Oh no! He's so fantastic. Like, oh my goodness. He's timid, but like, I also have to give props to how he's written. Like, he's he's intimidating. His powers are like, how the heck do you beat this guy? Like,
yeah, it takes the one time where it's like, oh my god, Season 1 actually did something really freaking good!
Yeah, like, how do you beat the Millennium Eye in a game like this? It's legitimately, like...
Yeah, that's the first 2 episodes!
It's legitimately like, a whoa, this is an intense...
Yeah!
This is like a very threatening thing that they have to figure out how to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
That they can't just use, oh, I drew just the right card for the situation. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't use that to beat him.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get a little bit undercut by the multiply strategy because it's like, if he gets multiply, what is Pegasus gonna do against that? They never give you never give any indication that there's any counter to that.
There isn't.
Like the multiply strategy, like why just why?
Like really, the only thing I could see is destroying the spell card, I guess. But I guess no one freaking has that in their deck. Has destroy spell card there.
I don't know. Maybe it'd be different back in the 90s when they don't have like easy access to the internet, so people might not have heard about the strategy. But
yeah, but then Yugi's literally a worldwide phenomenon. Like a day after he wins against Pegasus.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pegasus is amazing.
He's intimidating, he's charismatic, witty, like, honestly, like, I actually do want to mention this as well. Pegasus is what I wish Frieza was. And he's pretty much like the rated G version of the abridged Frieza.
Yeah, abridged Frieza. Pretty much.
Which is incredible. I love Pegasus. I also love how his playstyle is like intimidating and terrifying and
it's freaking cartoons.
It's also like it fits his personality so well. It's like, of course he would play the game like this.
Yep.
It's so good. It's so good. Pegasus is such a fantastic villain.
He is truly a man's man. Oh, sure, he was that man's man and that man's man. He was everybody's man. I don't follow. You seriously didn't pick up on any of the signs? Ooh, Kaiba boy. What are you, gay? Bitch, I might be. The backstory is really the only part where I'm like, sure.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, whatever. But
yeah.
Everything else is just so fantastic.
So how about the fact that he dies? You know, eye gouged out of his skull by Bakura.
Ow.
Meanwhile, in the anime, it's like, oh, I'm so hurt and wasted on wine. That's probably how he made this damn game, with drinking all that crap. Alright, let's go for the post-Pegasus stuff.
Rebecca.
Yeah, let's chalk up to one actor I didn't think I'd be seeing.
What was it again? I can't remember.
On.
Oh yeah, Erica Harlacher.
Like,
Hello. I mean, she did a good job with the voice acting.
Well, yeah, she
always
was
does.
also really young.
She always, yeah, like it's cool to see though. Even when she was really young, she was really good at actress. It's no wonder she's still popular actress to this day.
But I very much doubt that Duel played exactly like it did. Like,
yeah,
really?
But I mean, at this point,
Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh is in the so bad it's good card so often that I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll just buy it. This is what they're doing. I'll just go with it and enjoy it for what it is.
And then the video game plotline happened, and you spent half an episode being like, "What is this?" And
I was
like,
mostly upset. I was mostly upset about the whole thing where they're like, yeah, if you go into the
game world.
If you're in the game world and then the machine gets shut off, you get trapped in the game world. And I'm like, that makes no sense at all!
But then it's
you would have to intentionally design it that way, and even then it probably wouldn't work.
And then it was 4 kids, and it's like, that's why. That makes a lot more sense.
Like, this is basically the only way I can make sense of it without literal magic is basically you get basically puts your body into like a coma, and which basically if the machine stops sustaining you, then you would die, then your body would. Well, okay, the machine puts you in a coma, and it has to. The machine itself has to wake you up again for whatever reason. I don't know. You maybe like some chemical that does that. I don't know.
But yeah, it's just 4 kids.
It also like scans their brain and creates an AI version of their brain to control them inside the video game. And then even then, it's like technically they're not actually trapped in the game.
And that's why people are like, yeah, thanks 4 kids. Tell me all about your jelly-filled donuts, Brock.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
The video game itself was fine, though.
It was okay. It was like...
What is it with Kaiba making his brother a princess?
Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, it's mostly just like passable filler.
Yeah. And then there's Dungeon Dice.
Why was that the best? Why was that maybe the best? Why was that like up there with Pegasus for the best game in the entire season?
Because we actually could follow the damn thing.
They actually had rules. We could follow the rules, and also it was also just really cool, like having the Dark Magician, like having the Dark Magician appear. It's like, okay, yeah, of course they're going to do that, and of course he's going to use a special move. But despite that, it's still really satisfying because it's like Yugi's actually using his special tricks that he uses in his deck to win this. It's kind of like it's actually a satisfying way to do it because it's like it makes it really feel like he's not pulling this out of hammer space.
Yeah.
He's not just like coming up. He's not just making. They're not just making.
I'm going to put my monster on the catapult turtle and shoot it at your castle.
No, he's using abilities that we've seen him use before, and we know what they do. So it's like it's cool that it's like you can guess how it's going to go and be right and be like, ha!
And that's why season 2 is gonna be good.
Game well enough. I can understand this game well enough to see what's going to happen, and that's really satisfying.
And that's why season 2 is actually gonna be really good because I'm actually able to follow it.
So yeah, it was actually very satisfying.
Anything on Duke himself though?
He was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
You're just a cheater! You can't beat the creator at his own game, you're a cheater! Looks at Sakurai.
You can't beat the creator at his own game. So, shout outs to Sakurai losing to Toby Fox.
Yep. Yeah, that day.
To be fair, apparently Toby Fox actually did go to a few Smash Bros. Tournaments, so he doesn't know how to play.
So anyway, final thoughts on Season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're finally gonna have a rulebook next season, thank God!
I will say, it has a lot in common with what I've seen of Dragon Ball Z so far, and that there's a lot of stupid stuff. There's a lot of stupid stuff, but there's a surprising amount of like actually cool, well-written things in it.
Yeah.
That kind of catches you off guard when it happens a lot of the time. I think I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Better simply because they get to the freaking point so much faster.
That punch really felt good, I know. Let's discuss that punch for 5 minutes. Alright.
Yeah, like, even when Dragon Ball Z isn't doing filler, it's still 90% filler somehow.
Mm-hmm.
How did they even do that? How is there so much filler in that show?
Season 3 and below, I must say. We haven't watched past season 3 yet.
Yeah.
It might get better.
It might. Maybe.
Looks at Boo being 3 seasons. Wait.
But it's like, yeah, sure, Yu-Gi-Oh overuses a lot of like with Yu-Gi-Oh there's no way you could predict what the bull crap things they're going to do are, but by like the third fight you can tell. Okay, you can see like the underlying structure of how the fights go, how the games go, even though like you can see like the underlying structure, even if you have no clue what the actual moves are gonna be.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're gonna know what the actual moves are gonna be because they make them up on the spot. Basically.
Going to be interesting to see what you think in season 2, where they actually do follow the damn rules.
It should definitely be more interesting. It should definitely be interesting.
So yeah, farewell, Pegasus. Bye.
What a legend.
In this series only shows up for the movie. Because they later retconned his death in the Japanese version. Manga's the only time where he stayed dead. But yeah, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1!
I expected it. I expected most of the stupidity of it. I was caught off guard by the actually well done
There's
stuff.
a reason why I liked this show so much as a kid.
Like, I expected about as much. I honestly more or less expected Dragon Ball Z again, and I was pleasantly surprised that like.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Somehow holds up still, even if it's season 1 in its stupidity.
Yeah, we'll see. I might kind of miss some of the stupidity of the first season, to be honest.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll appreciate the actually well-writtenness of the rest of it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, not really well written. More that you can actually follow along and be like, ah, okay.
Actually having rules for your.
Yeah, where a card can be where you can mention what a card does on a paragraph on the card and not need a free page handbook next to the card.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, honestly, like, in that one of the episodes we just watched, it was like they're playing the Duel monsters, like Joey playing Duel monsters with Duke, and he's like, oh, I drew this card, and this is what it does, and I'm like, how do you know that? It doesn't say that on the card.
Yeah. And that's why the actual game makes a whole lot more sense.
Like, I could believe, like, I could probably believe that Yugi might know what that card does, because he's well-versed in the game.
He's the king of games.
He's well-versed enough in the game that he might just know what this random card does. But Joey is pretty well established to not know much about the game before the series. He's not going to know much of anything that isn't in, like, his deck or maybe Yugi's deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was clearly something that we've never seen before. A monster we've never seen before.
It only took...
There's no reason he should.
And to think, it only took 48 episodes for someone to have an instruction book right next to them. To have a freaking rules.
And 46.
It was episode 48 where he finally got the damn rules.
Yeah, but the arc started at 46.
Yeah, I guess. Of course.
So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1, actually pretty great. Would recommend.
Yeah! Just know what you're getting into.
It's a wild ride for sure.
You're gonna feel like you just conked out for a moment. And it's like, wait, what's going on? Oh, he won. Okay.
Yeah, you just kind of gotta be like, okay, what stupidity are they gonna do now? Oh, there
But if you get past it, it's really enjoyable. Guess we'll do season 2 eventually. See you guys for your next rambling review or whatever the heck you want to watch from us. Oh yeah, what do you think of the... You know, I just realized that we never mentioned the music from the series or the animation.
The animation is... Okay, I'll say the animation is pretty well done, although they reuse animations a lot. Which, honestly, like there's like a lot of stuff that's like low-budget 90s anime things happening. But because the show is so... Because the show is so kooky, it actually kind of actually works to the show's benefit most of the time.
And then music?
Not a whole lot of it has stood out way too much for me, but Pegasus themes are fantastic. I'm playing one right now.
Well, this is from the video game.
I have also caught myself humming the last bit of the... I have caught myself humming the, like, last bit of the, like, intro theme.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed it playing... Like, I've also noticed that melody playing occasionally when Yugi is like, I'm doing my winning move! So that's pretty neat. So I wouldn't say it's, like, 10 out of 10 buy the soundtrack right now, but... It's good. It's good. It does.
Also, be warned if you ever look up the vocal Yu-Gi-Oh tracks that 4Kids made.
But I mean, the show's... The funny thing is that the show is hokey enough that they kind of work anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's what's like. The show somehow managed is to, probably by accident, fit into that perfect middle ground of it's stupid and ridiculously hokey, but at the same time... I
love it!
But at the same time, you can actually kind of take it seriously in certain ways.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre experience.
Anyway, now that we're done. See you guys next time for a rambling review or whatever you watch from us.
Like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can find out when we're uploading here.
Why?
Because they need to know what we'll upload in the future, and that's how they can know.
Click on maybe one of the end cards.
But like them anyway. It helps the channel, I guess.
Kaiba boy!
Audience, boys and girls.
Oh, that was the wrong button to turn off.
We're good.